Hey everyone. So yeah, I wanted to come on here, and since it is Monday, the final Raw tonight in just about an hour and 23 minutes, I wanted to, the final Raw before Elimination Chamber. I wanted to come on here and give you my thoughts, if you will, my predictions and everything, to where I think basically it's going to lead as far as going into WrestleMania in April. Um, First of all, I want to congratulate New Orleans for getting WrestleMania 42. It's going to be one of the later WrestleManias in the spring, mostly in almost early to mid-April is when you're going to be getting it in 2026. So congratulations to you guys on that. But I wanted to, like I said, give you my thoughts on the Elimination Chamber, where I think certain things are going to lead us going into Mania. Now, one of the big highlights for the event basically is is people wondering what Cody's answer is going to be to The Rock after what he said to him on SmackDown, saying he wanted him to be his champion, he wanted his soul, and all that. Like, basically, what does that mean? And basically, what that means, if you haven't been a fan for quite some time, is through his own terminology and even breaking a little kayfabe during the press conference. Basically, what Rock is saying is he wants Cody to go fully corporate more so than anything. Basically, full Homelander style, if you will. He wants to basically want him to embrace, being a heel, if you will. He wants him to basically, you know, be a champion that not only goes out there and does it in the ring, but it's a champion that puts the corporation, puts the company before the fans and stuff like that. Kind of very, I wouldn't say similar, if not different, than what was portrayed in the Attitude Era with Austin and McMahon. The only problem that people point out here is that Cody is already kind of corporate. I mean, the way he dresses and everything, the way he acts, it's like, what is Rock alluding to? What does he want? What does he mean by that? And my thing is what he wants is he wants to control Cody. And by controlling Cody, that would be the ultimate form of revenge, basically getting back at him for last year. Um, and whether or not Cody accepts his offer, which would make Cody a heel, that's totally up to what they got going in this next direction. Because with Rock, you never know what's going to happen. You never know where he's going to take you from one side of the world to the other. You don't know. But with Cody, it's going to be interesting because Cody doesn't want to be portrayed the way he acts on television most times, unless you really push his buttons. Is that he wants to be portrayed as a guy that's about the people, about the fans, and wants to give the fans what they want. He doesn't want to go against that. But yeah, people could say, well, he's already doing that sort of, or has already, excuse me, already has done that sort of when he was in a feud with Kevin Owens. So it's like, what's the difference? What's really going on here and everything. And we'll just have to see what they do come Saturday in Toronto at the Rogers Center, aka the Sky Dome, if you will. We'll have to see what they got planned then for the next direction in this, because knowing Rock, he's the kind of person that basically he has leverage more so than I think anybody wants to give him credit for. Because yes, Ari Emanuel is his boss and everything, but Rock has some leverage that even Ari I don't think has when it comes to WWE or other parts of TKO. Whether Ari Emanuel wants to admit that or not, but I think what's going to happen is you're going to have this face off with them at at Skydome in front of a sold out crowd. Well, I wouldn't say it's sold out, but it's almost there. How they configure the arena, the venue. We'll see later on. Pro Wrestling Unlimited, Pro Wrestling Unlimited, PWU. Here on YouTube, they usually like to put little update videos up and everything, and let us know how the process is going as far as the setup of the chamber, this chamber structure, and the stage and all that. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying, it's going to be really interesting to see what they do here with Rock and Cody. And knowing Rock, again, he has leeway, he has leverage, and obviously, I think surprises even those like a Triple H and stuff. Even though I think Triple H is in on that, he knows what's going on, and I'm not going to be surprised if they do have this conversation when they have this face to face on Saturday. That Rock brings up Cody's previous run in AEW. Rock is that kind of person to where he can mention AEW by name, and nobody would bat an eye at it. He can mention AEW by name, basically point out that Cody was, an EVP there. He was there at the very beginning, and that he had power to do what he wanted, but he never abused it. He never, took it, to that level where, being an EVP, you'd think you'd want to take it. You have this power. You still compete in the ring. Why wouldn't you want to use it? So Rock is the kind of person that during this face-to-face can bring that up, and even bring up the fact that Cody was basically currently the record-setting, or record holder, I should say, of their version of the Intercontinental and U.S. Championship, that being the TNT title. So, Rock could bring all this stuff up because, again, he's that kind of person. Like, hey, I'll say what I want to say. I ain't gonna get in trouble because, heck, I pretty much run this place along with Hunter, Nick Khan, and Ari Emanuel, so nobody's going to say shit to me. Nobody's going to say shit to me to get on, about, bringing up the competition by name. Because he's that kind of a person. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does do that. He brings up Cody's past as an EVP at AEW, how he has this kind of power, and how, of all people, he should understand that with this kind of power, putting yourself in this kind of situation, you could do whatever you want. You could pretty much do whatever you want, however you want, whenever you want, and so on and so forth. And again, he can bring up Cody's, past as an EVP doing that, and that he should understand more so than anyone. But will he do it? Knowing Rock, he might, but we'll see. They have to tread lightly, if you will, when it comes to these kind of situations. But again, Rock's Rock, so he's going to say what he wants to say no matter what. And that might be one way to entice Cody. Say, look, Cody, you were, in charge of a company yourself. So you understand that being, having a champion that represents your company, that represents you, is important. And that you want to make sure that champion is given every opportunity to be the guy or be the woman, if you will, in your company. So I'm not going to be surprised if he brings, like I said, AEW up. But the obvious question is, or the obvious answer people want to have to the question is, what will Cody's, answer be? Like, what will, he do? What happens if he says no? Does Rock just leave it be and walk away and basically give him a look like, okay, I accept your answer, but I'm going to make you pay for that answer? Is that what it's going to be? Is it going to be, Rock going off and doing the silent treatment like, hey, I'm not going to get physical with you, but I'll have ways of making you pay. I'll have ways to, make your life a living hell for rejecting my offer, and everything. Is that what we're going to get if Cody, says no? We'll have to see. And if he says no, does that mean whoever wins the men's chamber is going to be the one that aligns with Rock? Because a lot of people have brought up very good candidates, to logically be representative of the Rock. People have brought up maybe Drew McIntyre because of the little conversation they had, in the back on the premiere of Raw. That might be something. But then again, McIntyre is going to be heading off with Priest to WrestleMania. Some people have brought up Logan Paul. That would be, a possibility. Logan's a very, a very controversial guy himself. So aligning with The Rock and being the corporate guy and everything, and having his show Impulse It to kind of help bridge that off onto, that's a possible scenario. But there are rumors he's going to be doing something else. Maybe with maybe with John Cena, but John Cena's supposed to be winning, is being booked to probably win this. We'll have to see. You got CM Punk. That's a name that's been brought up. Believe it or not, CM Punk is a big name because basically he's always been anti-authority. So what better way to really stick it to Cody than to take the one guy you wouldn't think would be a corporate guy and make him corporate, or at least create an alliance with him so that he gets his WrestleMania main event. He gets his chance to be champion at WrestleMania in the main event. That's one way to look at it too. People bring up John Cena. The way John Cena basically said in the press conference after the Royal Rumble, "Hey, this is best for business. This is, this is, the best thing to do. This is the rightful thing to do. I deserve to be in this, so I'm going to be in it, and all that." Basically, a lot of people said that his press conference promo, where he declared he was going to be part of the Elimination Chamber, came off very heelish, very self-centered, very egotistic. So could John Cena, out of all people, be, The Rock's corporate guy? We don't know. Seth Rollins is another name. People are thinking, well, it could be Seth Rollins because of his history with Cody. Cody came back at WrestleMania several years prior, basically, going on, what is it now, 3 years prior. So why not have Seth go corporate and align with Rock to go against Cody? That's something that could happen too. I mean, Seth has a history of doing that anyway. Go back to the Authority when he turned his back on the Shield to join them. Just saying. So there's many different scenarios out of all these people in the chamber, if Cody says no, that could align themselves, with The Rock. But then again, Rock, the way his mind thinks, you try to get into his mind. The way it thinks is he could basically, have something else, totally set to go. He could have something totally already set on the table, ready to go. And he could say, okay, this is the direction we're going to go if Cody says yes. This is the direction we're going to go if Cody says no. And like I said earlier, if Cody says no, Rock could be like, okay, I respect that. But he could also basically give him a little bit of a gesture, like, well, I can respect that, but guess what you did? You did this. You broke my heart. So I'm going to make you pay. I'm going to make you suffer. But when that happens, it'll be on my time, and you'll never see it coming. He could do that. He could basically say, like, got to keep eyes in the back of your head because you never know when I'm going to strike and want to get that revenge on you. That could happen. That could be one way they do it, because that way you don't have to worry about turning a John Cena or CM Punk heel or Seth Rollins, fully heel because he's heading in that direction anyway. You don't have to worry about that. You're pretty much leaving everything on a cliffhanger for people to speculate, because now people will want to tune into WrestleMania to see if Rock will take his revenge out on Cody during his match. Like if Rock shows up and basically decides to screw Cody over out of his championship in the main event to whoever he faces, whether Punk or Cena or maybe both, it's going to make people want to tune in. So we might not necessarily have to worry about Rock having somebody aligned with him to go against Cody. Instead, Rock might just, play, basically might play it to where it's like, you'll never know. You never know when, you never know where, but that day is going to come. That day is going to come. Payback's coming. So he might do that. He might just be like, he respects Cody's decision, but now by making that decision, he respects it. Cody has just made himself, pretty much a target, that's good. That Rock's going to aim for and make a bullseye for, but Cody will never know when. That might be what they do, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. It does get you intrigued for what's going to happen. It gets you intrigued to want to tune into the chamber to see what happens come this Saturday. Now, with that said, let's go on to the matches themselves. There are 4 matches, believe it or not, for the chamber. First of all, we have a tag team match. It'll be Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus, who not that long ago were kind of, I guess you could say, at each other's throats, or kind of like on opposite ends of the spectrum. They'll be teaming together against the team of Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. And this match will be, a decent little match, if you will. Give a little shine, from Trish to Tiffany, because Tiffany is being built up as their, next big star and everything for the women's division. And I'm going to go maybe with Here's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with a Trish Stratus, Tiffany win. That's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Trish basically pinning LeRae and everything. But then afterwards, as they're celebrating, I expect Charlotte to come in and maybe attack Tiffany from behind and, hit her with natural selection, take out Trish, maybe with Nia's help. Nia comes in and takes out Trish. And this opens, like I say, the door for Charlotte to come in and hit a distracted Tiffany with natural selection and basically stand over her, hold the belt, and say, enjoy the next month with it. It's going to come home to me. So there you go. So I'm going to go with Tiffany and Trish winning, but I do expect a post-match attack from Nia Jax to Trish and a post-match attack from Charlotte to Tiffany, because Tiffany gets distracted, and that will help us build to WrestleMania because, yes, we're getting Tiffany and Charlotte, but I think we're also going to get Nia and Trish. I just got that feeling. Now, with that said, let's talk about the Women's Elimination Chamber match. In this match, we have Bianca, Naomi, Bliss. We have, who else? We have Naomi, Bianca, Bliss, Liv Morgan, I think. Let me double check on this, guys. I just want to make sure I get this right. Let me double check. Okay, Elimination Chamber. Here we go. Excuse me. Okay, so I'm checking. Here we go. We have Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Bliss, Bayley, Naomi, and Roxanne Perez. And I told you basically what I think is going to happen. I feel that, it's going to, people are saying we're going to get Bayley and Roxanne at WrestleMania. That might happen too. But I'm going to go, believe it or not, I'm going to go with Roxanne. I'm going to go, this is what I'm feeling, because they're putting a lot of stock behind Roxanne. I'm going to go with Perez to win. Now, I say that, but it all depends on what happens tonight on Raw with the tag team main event. Because that's what's going to main event the show, is the tag team title match. It all depends on what happens tonight. It all depends on what happens tonight in the tag team title match. And if it gets revealed tonight as to who attacked, Jade, and it's either Bianca and Naomi, if not both, then it's going to be Bianca or Naomi. Mostly Bianca that will walk out of the chamber as the winner. But if nothing gets revealed tonight, I'm going to go with Roxanne Perez. I know people are saying Liv and everything, and that might happen too, but not many people are going to want to see Liv and Rhea in another match together with each other, especially, even if it's especially a triple threat at WrestleMania. They're not going to want to see that. They're going to want something different. So I'm going to go with Roxanne Perez because it feels like they're putting a lot of stock behind her, and we're still going to get a triple threat. It's going to be Roxanne, Io, and Rhea, and I think it's going to lead to Roxanne walking out with the championship. Now, you might say, well, where does that leave Bayley? I think Bayley's going to be involved in something, and I think it's going to have to do with the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I just got that feeling. But I'm going to go with Roxanne Perez to win this match. Then we have the unsanctioned match between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Basically, WWE is wiping their hands of this. They want nothing to do with it. Let them do whatever they want. This is going to be a violent match, guys. This is one of those opportunities where WWE is like, okay, guys, we trust you. Go cut loose. Do what you got to do to get people talking. Go cut loose. Do what you got to do. So I'm going to go basically with Sami Zayn winning this match. I see him winning this match basically by maybe some kind of fluke that sets Kevin off, and Kevin goes to attack him again, and that's when Randy Orton shows up. RKO's Kevin, and then we get, that gets us our match at WrestleMania. Now, if that doesn't happen, then I see basically both men taking each other out to the point that there is no winner, and this basically will conclude at WrestleMania, maybe in a Hell in a Cell or a Steel Cage match. But I'm going to go with Sami Zayn to win if it's going to lead to Randy returning afterwards or during the match to help him win to RKO Kevin, and then that builds to their match at Mania. But if there is no Randy Orton, I'm going with both guys knocking each other down, knocking each other out of commission, and then that will build to a rematch at WrestleMania, maybe even in Hell in a Cell. So I'm looking forward to that. But I'm going to go with Sammy to win if it's building to Kevin and Randy at Mania. But if not, it's going to be a double knockout, and we're going to go with the conclusion of this match. You know, probably in the cell at Mania. And then as far as the men's elimination chamber goes, you know, it's a toss-up. I don't know where we're going to go with this. You know, there are different avenues they could go. But I'm going to go with CM. I'm going to go with John Cena and CM Punk. I'm gonna go with them, double pinning each other. That's gonna get them both into a triple threat with Cody at Mania, and then that's gonna make things intriguing because who out of those two, if Cody says no, would be the aligner with The Rock if they decide to go that direction, or again, will they just have Rock silently, you know, walk away but vow payback on Cody for refusing him, you know, and all that. But we'll have to see. But I'm gonna go with Cena and Punk to win this at Elimination Chamber. Because I think Roman's going to show up. He's going to cost Rollins. Maybe even Punk if they want to do the triple threat. But I think if it's going to just be Rollins and Roman, I think, you know, Punk and Cena will win. That's just my opinion. But anyway, though, guys, that's my take on Elimination Chamber and what I think is going to happen this Saturday in Toronto. What's your thoughts? Let me know down below in the comment section as well as the live chat during the premiere. Like the video. And until next time, guys, do all the things necessary as in that's seen in the description. But, guys, let me know what your thoughts are. And until then, I am out.